All right, 3-9. Right here. Cool. Multi-step equations, variables on both sides. So you guys have your quiz tomorrow. This fractions and decimals. You'll learn a trick, kind of a technique here to solve these that you'll have to use it on specific problems on the quiz and test. So you'll learn a tip and trick technique. 311, that's a hard one. That one's, and then 312 is very easy. 312 is very easy. 313's a weird one. And that's it. That takes us, we know we'll have still planning to have our test on that Thursday. Still on your quiz days, not planning to do any new lessons with you. So if we need help, again, Colin, Faith, or Sam, Faith, you're here. You seem good. Work looks good. Quiz looked good. We'll see when Colin gets back. So anyway, I'm just going to generate some different problems from different spots. Think nothing of it here. The problems that we'll do. So, write this one. As the name of the lesson implies, variables on both sides. So this is pretty much our threshold for 8th grade algebra. As I say every year, it is not the end by any stretch of where this is continuing to go to next, but it's our limit to an extent. One thing you should be aware of is notice there's only one variable. There's more than one variable, but there's only one letter in play, like T and K and A and stuff like that. So in the future, you'll solve for more than one variable at a time, but not right now. So always one variable. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you in the end here, R equals something. A equals something. K equals something. So just like all our other algebra we've always had, we will just whittle this thing down to get to whatever equals it. Don't need an inequality symbol, that is for sure. Equals. And I can solve this one of two ways. And I am going to solve this twice, just so you can kind of see what goes on here. But basically, I can either choose to get m, put it on the left-hand side, and m equals something, or I could certainly represent it that way, where something equals m. Both are the exact same thing. No issues here. But when you're seeing this, and again, we're going to have some extra steps to do. We're going to have to do distributing work before we can start dealing with the variable. We're going to have to use cross products to rewrite stuff here. So there's a number of steps. But all of these equations, you can see 2, 3, and 4 look somewhat like this here, but then 5 through 9, they start looking a little more complicated. The 5 through 9 ones, after a step or two, will look something similar to this. Okay? But when we have a variable on both sides, and we get to this level where we don't have to distribute, we don't have, there's no other simplifying work to do, we can start trying to solve it. I want to get the variable on one side or the other, which means I can do one of two things. I can either subtract m from both sides, and that's what I'm going to do here. And of course, m is actually 1m. You guys know that. And on the left-hand side, 5m minus 1m leaves me with 4m, because I subtracted an m from both sides. I still got minus 7. That equals 17. At this point, it's just a two-step equation, right? So I'd add 7 to both sides. 4m is 24. M equals 6. M equals 6. That is the correct answer. So I'm going to do it again here. Now, this is a personal preference, and again, you'll have your own choices to make here. I prefer to work with positive variables whenever possible. It's not always going to be possible. But I could have solved this a second way. Totally cool. And what I could have did differently here is I could subtract 5m from both sides, right? Because if I subtract 5m from both sides, well, now I've taken the m off that side, right? 5m minus 5m is no m. What am I left with? Negative 7. M, 1 minus 5 is negative 4m plus 17. Another two-step equation. So subtract the 17 from both sides. Negative 24 equals negative 4m. Divide both sides by negative 4. Negative 24 divided by, or negative 24 divided by negative 4 is positive 6. Right? So it doesn't really matter it does not matter which one you take out. But the key is you want to get rid of one or the other. You want to get the variable on one side of the equation. And then from there, it should be a two-step equation. You can bring it on home from there. It's just adding this step here. We need to get the variable on one side or the other. It doesn't matter if it's on the left, and it doesn't matter if it's on the right. You'll get the same answer either way. It's just kind of a personal preference. Do you want to subtract m from both sides and solve this, or do you want to subtract 5m and solve that? Not saying either one's brutally difficult, but personal preference would be this way for me here. It's just subtracting 1m and having a positive 4m just seems a lot easier than 1 minus 5 and negative 4m is, right? Right? Why don't you guys try one here? Try negative 5y plus 8 equals 2 minus 2y. Negative 5y plus 8 equals 2 minus 2y. You will have fraction answers. Not necessarily this. Okay. So, anybody have an answer? Still working? I can wait.
I did not get this right.
That's fine.
Is the answer a whole number?
This one it is. Yes, this one is a whole number, I think. These are the types of problems that do not lend well to me just making things up off the top of my head if at all possible. So first I have a choice I have to make here, and I have one of two choices. What are the two choices I'm thinking of doing first here?
Subtract negative 5y or negative 2y.
Right, I could subtract a negative 5y, that's basically a double negative, which would be the same as adding a 5y.
Oh.
Which is fine. No, you said it fine. You said subtract a negative, which is correct. That's exactly what I
I
wanted
just
to
think
do.
I did it wrong there.
What you want, so the way I see it is subtract here. So I'm gonna choose to add a 5y to both sides, or I could add a 2y to both sides. But adding 5y removes the y from that side. If I add my 2y, if I would have decided to do that over there, cross that out there, this would be 8 equals 2, 5 minus 2 is 3y, and this would be negative 3y plus 8 equals 2, which is, both are fine, just depends what your first move's going to be. Do you want to add the 5y to both sides and clear the y off the left, just leave it on the right, or do you want to add the 2y to both sides, clear it on the right, and just leave it on the left? So over here, they're both two set. Again, you can rewrite 3 however you want to write it, doesn't matter, but 6 equals 3y, y equals 2, minus 8 minus 8, negative 3y equals negative 6, y equals 2.
Yeah, I see what I did wrong, and then like as soon as I saw that, I rewrote it and got it right.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't doubt that at all. So, one more of these types here. How about try this one here? And we'll add negative 6 minus 3n equals 4n plus 8. So, if you can answer this question, then I got no doubt you can finish it. There's 2 moves I'm thinking I could do first here. What are the 2 moves I'm thinking about doing?
Add a 3n or subtract the 4n.
Right. That's exactly correct. Either one of those. So get me to where I want to go next, adding a 3n or subtracting a 4n. Here, I'll show you something else you can do. Maybe you'll like this. Maybe you won't. I'll let you finish, but I'll show you. Let's see. Should get whole number this time. Or integer, I should say. What do you guys get? N equals negative 2. That is correct. So, did you both add 3n?
Yeah, I added 3n.
So, here's a little trick you can do. Again, I'm not saying you have to do this here, but what happens here is you probably have realized, and this is going to keep happening, is you end up with a 2-step equation, right? So, in a sense, I can do step 1 of the 2-step right now, because I have negative 6 equals 7n plus 8. What am I going to do first in that equation?
Subtract 8.
So I'm just going to subtract 8 from both sides, because I've canceled this out and I've canceled this out all at once. See how I did that? And you'll be able to do that. I'm not saying you have to, if you feel like, hey, it can save you a little right, it can save you a step, if you feel up for it. Not forcing you to do it. You can write and then solve, but then, either way, 7n equals negative 14, and does equal negative 2, right? Right? See how I did that? Two steps at once. Okay, let's try, huh?
3.
I'm going to do it 3. You'll see 3 again someday.
5.
Yeah, 5. No, not 5.
I'm picking here. Let's see here.
12.
12. Let's try like that one. Which one do I want here? None of those are that great. Let's try this one. D plus 7 equals 7D plus 3 over 3. So this is going to add another step. This is a similar problem to what 5 through 9 are. If you're looking at your thing here, similar. Okay. So what am I going to do? How am I going to want to solve this here? We want to ultimately solve for d equals something here. Now, in our homework, if I would set this up here, this one's going to look very similar to number 5, 6, and 8. Here in just a second. Right now it looks more like 7 than it does 5, 6, and 8. But I do want to rewrite them all in this form. Let's just call it fraction form. All right, see how there's a numerator and denominator to all these things here on both sides? So if I did that, all I would have to do is that, essentially, right? Now I have kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 things going on, right? So here's the move. When you see this type of format, almost every time, for this one here, like 7, well, we'll practice that one in a minute here. But assuming you got all your brackets and stuff cleared, you got to get rid of them first before you can do this move here. What you're going to want to use is cross products to rewrite. Right, the same thing you did when you were making equivalent fractions is what you're going to use. So what am I multiplying? Well, basically, I'm multiplying d plus 7 times 3, or 3 times d plus 7, right? Because I am multiplying 3 times d plus 7. I need to multiply both of these terms by 3. And then on the other side, again, cross products, multiplying anything times 1 is itself. 7d plus 3 times 1 is 7d plus 3. Right?
That's what I got.
So here's my new setup here. Now, when you do this here, you can choose how you prefer to do this. I wrote it out basically what's going on here so you can visualize what's the deal. But the key is you need to multiply both of these terms by 3. Both of them, not just one of them, not some other thing that you might do, I don't know. So d times 3 is 3d. 7 plus 3 is 21. And then, of course, on the other side, I didn't do anything. All I really did here is I distributed now. So this step here, again, I will leave this up to you if you want to write it this form. Some people can just look at this, and you guys are certainly of that caliber, that you might just be able to look at this problem and just go 3 times d is 3d, 7 times 3 is 21, and just get right to this equation right here without writing this equation. Depending how complex this gets. I'm not saying you're never ever going to write this type of stuff out here, but I'm also conceding 3 times d and 3 times 7 is not too hard to keep in your brain. But once you get to this point, then I think you guys can finish it off from here. What's d equal?
We're almost there.
This one is a fraction answer.
Uh, 4 and 1/2. D equals 4 and 1/2.
Yep. Did you subtract 3d from both sides? Faith? Yeah. So now I got 21 equals 4d plus 3. And then again, I could certainly do the subtract 3 up here if I wanted, or I can do it down here. 18 is 4d, d, oh, no, 6. equals 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. You could test it if you wanted. I mean, just plug it in and 4.5 plus that and do that and then that and that and that and that and then of course
Which ones aren't whole numbers?
might take a little number here. The ones that are not whole number answers in your homework. Number 6, number 8, number 14. Word problem 16 and 18, whole numbers. Whole numbers. You do not have to do 20.
Yes.
Do 3, 18. And we're going to do a couple more. We ain't done yet. Okay. Which one do we want to try now? Let's try 13. Let's try that one here. Probably do 2 more. So there's pretty much one move to start. I mean, only one move to start. What is the first move I got to do here?
Subtract 2.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's really the only thing I got available to me at this point here. 2 minus 2 is 0.
No, but don't you add it? This is A1, so wouldn't it be 3A?
2 minus 2 is 0. Right?
Oh, I added that immediately. I added 2.
Because I subtracted 2 from both sides. Now I got 2a over 3 equals a.
Okay, I added the 2 in there.
So what would I do next? Huh? I could 3a, 2a is what I'm going to turn into. I see it this way, but so dividing both sides by, and we still got to resolve this thing here. So you're probably, okay, so let's take a step back here. So I can divide both sides by 2 or 3 here, right? And then I would have a equals 1 and 1/2 a, so on and so. So how do I resolve the a is what you're asking. So if I go back up here, and this is an odd thing here, I should rewrite this. Now I did cross out, and technically there's nothing there. I'm going to just go back to where we were. But this time, I'm going to write it this way, as no value here, because I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 is what I'm going to do, because I can't get to this a right now, right? So what do I need to do? I need to multiply both sides by 3. 2a equals 3a, anything times 0 is 0. Do you agree with that? I'm bringing the 0. The only reason I'm writing this add, subtract 0, it doesn't change the value of anything. I'm using it because I have no other values, like whole numbers, besides the variable. I don't have any number. Like how, the problem I'm running into here is how do I ever get the variable to one side or the other, right? But if I keep it in this form here, because I always got to have something on both sides, the only thing I could do here is subtract the 3a from both sides. Because if I subtract the 2a, then I have absolutely nothing at all on this side of the scale, right? I've taken every single thing off the scale. I don't have a number. I got nothing. If I want to add plus 0 over here, then add plus 0 over there. But negative a equals 0 times negative 1, flip the signs, A equals 0. That's
A
what A
equals
equals 0.
negative.
A equals 0 this time. So, and again, if you plug it in, 0 plus 2 equals 2 plus 0. A does equal 0. It's easy to test this one. Most it's not so easy to test, but this one it is. But this one was really strange because when we did our first step, and this had to be our first step, this is what our equation essentially is at this point, but we've taken all the whole numbers out, and that wasn't wrong, what we did. It's, in this case here, we have to do a somewhat strange scenario. I could have certainly did it this way too. I could have put it all over here, subtract the 2a from both sides, 0 equals a. No matter how you did it or where you put the odd 0 in play. So it's a little strange. Do you agree with that? Okay. Last one here. Let's see. Let's find a really fun looking one. Oh yes, this one. Let's try this one. You got enough space? Oh, certainly. Okay, there you go. Last one. Two n plus 1 over negative 3 equals 2 times negative 2n minus 3 plus 3n. So 2 brackets n plus 1 over negative 3 equals 2 brackets negative 2n minus 3 plus 3n. You have some choices and avenues you can take to do different steps. There's not a full set exact way this could be solved. In the end, you'll get a whole number answer.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I did it.
I think I solved my problem too. That makes
But there were
two.
2 of them.
No, just one. See how this one goes here. Lot of steps here, no doubt about it. And a number of choices to make in the order you do them. It's also
Oh my gosh. I
strategies.
forgot the 2. On the other part, I forgot the 2.
It's probably gonna impact everything, I would think.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's lesson will again incorporate guess you could call them shortcuts. They'll be specifically designed problems that will allow you to utilize these shortcuts. Keep in mind on your quiz and test, there'll be specific problems where I'll say, I need you to show me the method, so to say. But tomorrow's lesson's more or less the same thing, maybe even a step easier. It's not variables on both sides, it's more fractions and decimals type work. How to simplify them and solve a really hard looking thing really fast. Sierra, work on your missing homework. Sierra, do something else. Like missing homework or test corrections. Work on those things.
Chances of this being right is
Wait, I'm still cooking, we're so close.
So, any answers?
I'm so close, I'm so close.
just negative 20.
Wait, I
Negative
did
20?
it right, I did it right, but I'm almost there.
Okay, that's fine.
I know I did it right though.
And again, how I do it, you do it, all of us do it could be different.
N equals -4.
All right, -4, -20, we're on the block. So, I guess when I see all this here, I could distribute and clear this out. I could combine in the box. I could distribute. All of these things are going to get done in some shape, form, or fashion. Since I need to rewrite, I think I can do two steps at once. I can simplify on this side and I'll simplify on this side at the same time. So on this side, I got to get rid of these brackets. I mean, I'm not going to try and do any algebra work until the brackets are all gone. I can't start doing, this is the pregame work, before I can start doing the solving part. So 2 times n is 2n plus 2 over -3 on that side. So over here, I can distribute, I could go 2 times that, 2 times that, 2 times that, rewrite, and then combine like terms. Or I can combine like terms first, which is what I want to do. Then I only have to distribute into 2 terms instead of 3. You can distribute, then combine, or you can combine, then distribute. Doesn't really matter. Whenever you do that, we should end up at the same spot down here though. But I like to combine like terms. First, -2 plus 3 is just plus n, 1n. And now I'm going to distribute 2 times, I'm going to rewrite it this way too, just because I find it easier, but 2 times n is 2n, 2 times -3 is -6. So, did you guys get 2n minus 6 on the right?
Yep,
You didn't get it?
I did.
What did you do?
I got negative.
Did you combine first,
Yeah.
or did you distribute?
I,
So you would have -4n minus 6 plus 12n.
I got.
Did you distribute first?
Yeah, I distributed, but I got, instead of the 12, and I got 6 in.
What did I do here? Or this is, yeah, this should have been 6n. Right, 6n. So then add 4n to both sides. Or combine these terms, I should say here.
I didn't combine until like the very end.
So you left it as just in this form for the time being, and then you multiplied all these terms times -3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So then you would have 12n plus 18 minus 18 at that point. Is that what you have?
Kinda. I got 12n plus -18 plus negative, yeah. 12n.
Should be, yeah, 12n should be positive 18. Negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18.
And then I got negative 9.
Yep, your ends are right. You need positive, negative 3 times negative 6, so that's right. But otherwise, your other numbers are right. And but you're over here, Sam. Faith is on a longer path. She's on, should be this right here.
Actually, it might be. Is it 4 or is it negative 4? It's one of them. I don't remember.
So we all got this on the left.
Yeah.
So Faith, this is where you are on the right. Sam, this is where you are on the right. Okay. I can help both of you at the same time. So when did you decide to start? Oh, are you, actually, you're somewhere else. You're farther ahead because you already cleared this out here. So Sam, so Faith, you're at this point then. Equals, right?
Yeah.
12n plus 18 minus n. Sam, you're at this point. So did you now multiply 2n minus 6 times negative 3? So your new equation, 2n plus 2 equals negative 6n plus 18.
Yep.
That's where you are. And Faith, this is where you are. So Sam, then what did you do?
I subtracted n from both sides.
Subtracted what?
N, or 2n.
2n. Sounds good. Faith, what did you do?
I think that
You have 12n plus 18, or you might have had minus 18 minus 9n.
I think I combined them.
So you did 12n minus 9n,
Yeah.
because that would be the only combined you have. So then you would be at 12n minus 9n is 3n plus 18. And you're still on the right course with your ends, because we haven't done anything with this. So then what did you do?
Then I think that I did 3 and subtracted by 2.
Subtract
Yeah.
by 2n?
Yeah.
So then you would have 2 equals, you would have n minus 18. When it should have been n plus 18.
I see what I did wrong. I had 6n plus negative.
Let me see what's going on here, because this one's going to end up, so you're going to subtract 18, you're at negative 16 equals negative 8n, divide by 8, negative 8, n equals 2. That is correct. On your side here, we did something wrong. Negative 4n minus 6 plus 6n,
I have 1
12n
equals
plus 18. Oh, this should have been 18n. Up here, it should be 12n minus 18n, not 9n. 18n. So then this is, what did I do here then? 12n plus 18, so that's times 3. So then you're at 2n plus 2 equals 12n plus 18 minus 18n. 12n minus 18 would give you negative 6n plus 18, 2n plus 2. So there's where you would be. And then what? Add 6n to both sides. 8n plus 2 equals 18. Subtract 2. 8n equals 16. N equals 2. So up here it should have been 8. You should have been at 12n plus 18 minus 18n. Is what you should have been at with the way you were going. Plus 18 minus 18n on the right. Good for today? Okay. It takes some practice. I'm throwing you everything at the whole thing at you. This is about the limit, though, for the chapter, except for 311. 311 is just different and weird. But this is the limits. So you're gonna get to practice all this stuff again in chapter 4. A lot of the problems I gave today are chapter 4 problems, it's just you're gonna do it with inequalities. You're graphing this type of stuff out here, but it's gonna be the same process to solve, so. I think, you got 2 chapters to kind of hone in on this type of work here. Again, if the homework you just did went well and your quiz went well, then if you feel like you're getting it sooner rather than later, then through chapter 4 shouldn't be too hard for you. This is about it, though. Okay. Any questions?